Feel good. Oh shit. Okay. So this week, um, shit, you made me lose my train of thought. Um, everybody at all the kids are getting real excited about Halloween. They're all getting their costumes and whatever. And some of them are so excited that they have decided that they're going to start wearing their costumes now. This is not unusual
Nice.
for young kids. They want to wear their costumes right away. So I had this little girl in. She is dressed as Queen Elsa of Frozen. As we all knew that this was going to be the year of Frozen.
Oh yeah.
And we had she had to be about 4, and I had a little 3-year-old boy who was dressed as Raphael from the Ninja Turtles. Modern Ninja Turtles, not the 1980s Ninja Turtles. So I walked out of the room. I got a call to pick up a meal from the cafeteria. My partner was in the room, and I come back, and all I see is this Elsa wig flying through the air. And I hear my partner scream, "Please get back in the room right now. You need to stop this." You have to understand, my partner's in her 80s. She can't really handle it when the kids are fighting. But apparently, what happened was that the Queen Elsa decided that she was going to use her frozen powers and zap Raphael. And when I say zap Raphael, I mean she threw a Lego block at his face.
Snowball!
And Raphael got mad, so he took her wig, threw it through the air, and then attempted to smash her face with his Lego-made shit. Why can't I think of the word? Pointy thingy.
Sigh.
Thank you. Pointy thingy. So that happened. And this is what, like, and on Halloween, like, all the kids are allowed to wear their costumes, and we, like, have, like, little parades throughout the day where we take them around the club, and, oh, look how cute they are, blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, that day is going to be terrible. Because either, like, half the little boys are dressing up as Ninja Turtles or something from Star Wars. Like, I got one kid who's like, I'm going to be a stormtrooper, and I got another kid who's going to be, I'm Darth Vader, and then they already started fighting because he's like, I'm your boss. No, you're not. Yes, I am. Oh, God. So...
No Star Lords?
I've only known 2 of my kids who have actually seen Guardians of the Galaxy. One of them wanted to dress, and the little girl wanted to dress up as Rocket, and just as a factor for this, she's from Serbia, so she has this very strong Serbian accent, and she's like, but my mom said no, because she said I'm too violent when I'm dressed up as a raccoon.
She has a history of raccoon violence. It's just a tiny daycare for violent little psychopaths, I swear.
And the thing is that it's not this is nothing of that happens is uncommon between daycare workers. Because I was talking to a girl who used to work at, I think it was like a KinderCare or something, and she's like, oh no, this is just what kids are. I'm like, this is terrible. Why are all kids terrible? Because they don't have empathy. That's why Donald Glover,
Sure.
in his one of his stand-ups, he's like, kids are tiny, tiny little Hitlers because they have no empathy. They don't understand. If you smash somebody in the face, it hurts.
See, I always just thought it was that they just didn't care.
They just haven't learned what empathy and sympathy is yet. They're just like, oh, what do you mean that hurts? So kids are tiny, tiny little Hitlers.
Tiny, tiny little Hitlers. Maybe that'll be this week's.
Tiny Hitlers.
Tiny little Hitlers.
And people leave their children with me. Isn't that terrifying?
Well, people are fucking crazy.
That's also true. I mean, these are the rich people. I swear to God, these are all the rich people because they pay like $135 a month for individual Individual gym memberships. When there is like 4 places around us that do like the $5 or $10 a month, they go to this
Wow.
gym.
So these are the people with cash to waste.
Yes.
These are the parents that parent by iPad.
All of these kids have iPads. They all have better phones than I do. They've all got like super like. I got one kid who walks around who is 3 years old. Okay, this kid is 3 years old and wears like Gucci and Coach, and I'm like, he had an Armani suit. I'm like, you're 3. What do you need an Armani suit for?
It's that meme
I'm
from
down
the
here 40, I
internet.
don't have an Armani suit. Sorry, Keith, what was that?
No, it's that Godfather baby meme from the internet. Just
Oh,
get
shit.
that guy.
It's just
The little kitty's all pointing.
yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand the need to give your child an Armani suit when he's 3 years old. He's just going to destroy it anyways.
Some people just like to waste money, apparently.
They want to get it started early on the picking up chicks game. I don't know.
On the label train.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm being materialistic.
Consumerism.
At its finest.
All right, so we have tiny Hitlers and Armani suits. So welcome to All Things Good and Nerdy episode 121. We don't have Chris today. He's off. I don't know, doing whatever, playing something.
I think he's in an X-Wing tournament today.
Is it another X tournament? Like a spurn girlfriend, man. He's always off playing with his toys, leaving us here. But
He just
got
doesn't
me
love us
here
anymore.
today. We got Naki, and joining us today is Keith.
Also
Hi.
known as Clone Freak One. He does weird videos on the internet.
Clone Freak One. And so far, me and Clone Freak One are the only ones in the chat room, so that's...
Yeah.
Because we're just saying hello to each other over and over again, which is
Why don't
weird.
you love us? No, I haven't.
Yeah,
I haven't
nobody
done.
quiet this morning.
Maybe we should do a Facebook. No, but speaking of Facebook announcements, I put it up on our Facebook wall this week. I will be at WindyCon with the said Keith here. I have a table there, and we'll be doing some Gonna Geek and ATGN and some Next Element promotion. I'll have some raffle stuff. I got stuff to give away. Like I think I got like the first season of Orphan Black. What else do I got over there? I got stuff that the BBC sent me. So I think there might be a couple Doctor Who DVDs. Maybe just some of my DVDs where I'm just like, I'll get rid of it. Because who doesn't like free DVDs?
We're just gonna start throwing it at people. Ah!
You there! Listen to my show.
You just scream,
we'll set up-
"You win." That way it's a prize giveaway. You win!
We'll set up some board games to play with us too.
No, I'm not handing out prizes.
We'll set up some board games to play with people. Like we got Love Letter. If we can get enough people, maybe we'll play some Dark Overlord or Archer. We got the DC Deck Builder, stuff like that. So I mean, we're gonna have stuff all weekend. But that's at WindyCon. It's this weekend of November 14th. I believe I'm going to be in the ballroom foyer. Once I get the final count on that. But like, plan your weekend. Come visit me. I'm cool. Remember me?
And where's it at?
It's in Lombard, Illinois, I believe. It is right outside of Chicago. Probably about, I think it's like 25 miles from Chicago. Not a bad drive if you take I-55 and never ever take 294 because that interchange is terrible. It's the worst
Cool.
interchange in the world.
I don't know. There's some of them in
Or is it 94?
California that are pretty good.
What?
And Cleveland. There's some bad ones in Cleveland.
I maintain that
Driving
the
back from Canada
9094 interchange with 294 and I-55 is the stupidest interchange because it's basically like a mile and a half of 3 major highways converging onto one.
Nice.
It is the stupidest thing.
I remember traffic in Chicago not being very great.
No, it rivals New York and LA. San Diego traffic wasn't that bad. Seattle traffic was wonderful. It was basically just like, look at that pretty thing. Oh, look, I'm here. Seattle's pretty.
Seattle is. I liked living up there. I lived north of Seattle for 4 years. That was a nice area to live. I-5 is not bad up there. It's way better than it is in San Diego.
I liked San Diego, but I was only there for a week. I wasn't there very long. So.
We used to go there all the time because whenever our ship needed maintenance, we would take our ship from Seattle down to San Diego because you can't paint a Navy vessel in fucking Everett, Seattle's humidity because it's just never dry enough to do maintenance. So it's like, oh, it's been 6 months. Let's go back to San Diego and paint this part of the ship. I can do that shit over and over and over. Basically did that for 4 years.
Sounds like fun.
And if
it had its moments.
Speaking of traveling, if anybody has tips for Keith and I, we're going to be in Anaheim for Star Wars celebration in April. So, yeah. Think of places that we should go around Anaheim. Or maybe we'll take a train down to San Francisco. I don't know.
Yeah, we want to go to San Francisco, yes. Anyways.
Okay. Trains are always good. Yeah, if you go to Frisco, have either of you guys been to Frisco before?
No.
Definitely go down to the north. Just because just walking through the area is a blast. And I mean, once you're in Frisco, just hit a local restaurant, basically any of them, and just order fresh seafood. It's some of the best fucking food you'll ever find.
He won't eat seafood.
I'll try.
Yeah, it's worth trying. Yeah, I still think probably the best surf and turf I ever had at a restaurant was just a random restaurant we were walking by in Frisco. Me and a couple of my Navy buddies, we walked in. They had a special going on, like $20. We got would have been like an $80 meal here in Boise. Frickin' fresh lobster and frickin' fresh and grass-fed badass steak. It was amazing. Yeah, there's some great food, really good architecture. It's a fun city to walk around in, even if it's a little. Sometimes it's a little far to walk places, but we had a blast there every time we went to Frisco.
It's supposed to be really hilly.
Yeah.
Which is fine by me.
Yeah, you can
but
definitely
if your
get
knees
a workout. Yeah. You can definitely get a workout walking in Frisco. One of the first weekends we were there, me and my buddy grabbed a hotel room because it's easier to just staying in a hotel room instead of going back to the ship every night. And I got up one morning and was like, I'm going to go find a local comic book store. And just opened up the yellow pages and grabbed the first name that looked good, got the address, and started walking. Didn't realize it, but I was walking from one side of Frisco to the other side of Frisco, basically. So that was my trek for the day. Yeah. So I got on a main road and basically walked 15 miles, and then went to the comic book store and then walked back. Yeah, it was a fun day, but yeah, it was tiring. But yeah, it's a really cool city. Stop and taking pictures like old ass churches and stuff. There's some great architecture there.
I like architecture. The Chicago, I'm not going to lie to you, the Chicago architecture tour is actually really interesting. They take you on a boat and you go down the river. And it's actually real interesting to see, you don't really think about it. But a lot of the buildings are reflective of each other, so you can double the size of the city by the reflection. It's actually really cool. Anyways, this is a whole other aside. We could probably get back to the news of the week now.
All right. Who wants to do the news of the week first?
I'll do it, because I stole Chris's news of the week, because he's not here, so suck it, Chris. He actually posted two newses.
Newsies.
News pieces. Both of them about my longtime celebrity crush of Robert Downey Jr. One of them being a really cool, just little aside. Marvel actually gave Robert Downey Jr. the giant A from the Avengers movie, the one that lasted on the Stark Tower after the whole battle was won. Spoiler alert: the Avengers win. And so he now has a giant A. I thought that was pretty cool. And then the other, which is actually oh no, it was on Monday that they announced that Robert Downey Jr. has signed on to be in Captain America 3, which also launches the Civil War storyline. Which I don't know how I feel about that, because I thought Thanos is supposed, like, we got Thanos coming thanks to Guardians of the Galaxy. We've got Ultron in Avengers 2. So I don't know. I don't remember the Civil War line that well. It's been a long time since I read it.
Civil War was the Superhero Registration Act, to where anybody who's a superhero has to register with S.H.I.E.L.D., otherwise they're going to put you in jail. And so Tony Stark at the time becomes the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. and is in charge of the Superhero Registration Act, basically. That was when Peter Parker unmasked on camera and then joined Stark as the Iron Spider for a while. And the rebellious force was led by Captain America, because he decided that wasn't what his America was about, was making people register. And so you actually got an awesome scene where Cap fights his way off of the helicarrier because the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents tried to arrest him, which doesn't work well for them. It ended up being it had some good parts of the story. It was a lot of weird back and forth, but there's some great scenes where, like, in one of the books, Captain America ends up fighting the Punisher, and the Punisher won't even hit him. It's this weird thing where Frank Castle, that's basically the one person he has total respect for, is Captain America. So yeah, it was one of those weird things where you got back and forth between the two sides, and some of the people chose sides in ways that you really wouldn't see.
Looks like we lost Naki.
We lost Naki.
No.
Uh-oh.
That sounds really interesting. I'm not really that big into comics, but that sounds like that would be a good story arc for them to start, like, right now.
It is. I wonder how far they'd go with it, because there was some crazy stuff where supposedly at that point Thor was dead, and so part of the Civil War back and forth fighting was they had to clone Thor. Tony Stark and Reed Richards made a clone Thor that they were controlling, and that's the creature that went crazy and killed Goliath. And so you had one of the very few black superheroes in the Marvel Universe, and the frickin' the clone Thor fucking blasts him through the chest and kills him in the middle of a big old fight. So there was some crazy stuff that went on during the Civil War. Excuse me.
We've got inside the Naki's bedroom, it looks like.
Yeah.
They have random video camera now. We have webcam with a ceiling filled with stars.
My computer's locked up. So you're on my phone right now.
Does Naki realize her webcam is on?
I don't think she can hear us. Oh, is that a yes?
No. I think she meant yes.
I also want to call it Thoneclore from now on.
Thoneclore?
Yeah,
Thoneclore.
That's classic.
That'll be the title of this episode. Thoneclore. But I mean, yeah, if they do start the Civil War, there's a lot of stuff they can do with it. It's a question of how far they're going to push some of it. Because yeah, like Peter Parker unmasking was cool and one of the biggest events of the Registration Act, but they don't have the rights to Parker. And the Civil War actually all starts with my favorite team, the New Warriors. They were doing their series where they were doing a reality TV show where they were hunting down villains that had escaped from the raft at the start of Avengers Disassembled, I think. Electro attacked the raft and let everybody out. And so there were like hundreds of supervillains just loose in the Marvel Universe, and the New Warriors team was actually going and hunting them live on a reality TV show. And during one of those attacks is when the New Warriors, they were going after, who was it, Barracuda, somebody else, and Nitro. And during that fight is when Nitro let himself go basically nuclear and blew up a school in Stamford, Connecticut. And so you have like the 600 deaths, including the deaths of almost all of the New Warriors on the team. And that's when Robbie Baldwin basically wakes up like 4 states over, because of course he lived through the blast because of his kinetic shielding, but it screwed up his powers, and then he's the one that's basically held responsible for the deaths of all the kids and everybody that died in the town, and that leads to the Mutant Registration Act. There's no New Warriors, there's no any other teams outside of the Avengers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe so far. So I'm wondering what they would use as the escalation point of what caused the Civil War. Because they just can't go right into it.
Yeah.
There has to be a reason.
We've got Guardians. Maybe something with Guardians versus. And it's not like they could do the mutants because that's not owned by Marvel Cinematic.
Yeah. So I mean, there's definitely problems, but I mean, it's not like we haven't seen the writers of the Marvel Cinematic Universe write their way around problems in extremely good ways. So it'll be interesting to see if they're going Civil War. I want to see what their catalyst is, because I can't imagine them doing like one New Warriors film just to bring them in and blow them up. Like, I would love it. I'd be the first person in line, but I'd also be supremely pissed if they bring in my favorite team just to kill them all.
I wonder if it'll have to do with like Bucky and Falcon, you know?
Something based on the SHIELD stuff and Hydra.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked about it in the past how I'm not watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and it's nothing against Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, Joss Whedon has a tendency to have a very slow first couple of seasons and then really build up to something amazing, but I don't have time to pick up yet another show, so...
Neither do I, but yet I am also all caught up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I mean, from what somebody had posted, like, the actual, like, order of how to watch things if you wanted to be completely in tune with the Marvel Cinematic Universe with the coexistence of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And it was actually, it breaks down pretty well, but I don't know if so much to watch.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good TV out right now.
Just DC TV, there's a lot to watch. That's 4 shows a week now. That's just starting to stack.
Constantine hasn't started yet, has it? I have it scheduled to record.
Starts this week, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, Constantine will be 5.
Yeah, I got Constantine starting this week.
I'm sorry. Superhero shows, not just DC shows. Because, yeah, right now I'm watching S.H.I.E.L.D., Flash, Arrow, and Gotham. Like, that's 4 TV shows right there every week.
Yeah, I watched the
Constantine will make 5.
Well, we discussed Gotham last week, but yeah, I still haven't gotten past the first episode.
There's some fun stuff in there.
Yeah, I gave it to the 3rd episode. I couldn't. I'm trying to give it a chance. There's things that I like about it, and there's a lot of potential about it. But there's some things that are just not to my. When
you've got like the standard set by Arrow, because like Arrow, let's face it, the first 11 episodes were pretty terrible, but they got better. When you've got that standard set by Arrow though, and you know what you're dealing with there, and plus they're pretty much making it a Batman show by bringing Bruce Wayne in on the first episode. You've got a lot of hype that you have to live up to. I mean, and we talked about this a lot last week, but so I don't want to keep it going on too long. But like, not a lot people outside of the comic book world don't really know how badass that Jim Gordon is. And I so wanted it to be badass without Bruce Wayne being involved with it. So
yeah, Jim Gordon is badass, and they definitely should have just focused on him in the show. That's my big gripe about the show, is that just they've got little Wayne doing stupid things and Australian Alfred that they probably should write him. They could probably write him a little better, because he just seems like he's like yelling at the kid, and he doesn't seem like Alfred. He doesn't seem like that's not my Alfred.
I mean,
but at the same time, we've never seen Alfred outside of Earth 1, the Jeff Johns one. We've never seen the Alfred of what he was like right after the Waynes died. And so I kind of like the fact that he's not, the way like Michael Gough played him in the '89 Batman, or the fucking fantastic Michael Caine in the Nolanverse, just because we never saw how Alfred treated Bruce during that time when he was really probably scared about what was going on in that kid's head because he had just seen his parents murdered. So I mean, I like the fact that it is different just because we've never seen how that Alfred behaved.
But why
That's
is he
true.
an Australian? Like, that's the thing. That's like watching it. I was like, okay, everybody knows Alfred is British. Do they not think that we know the difference between an Australian accent and a British accent? Because there's an extreme difference, and this Alfred is Australian.
As long as he doesn't say kangaroo, I don't care. Or wallaby. Don't make him say wallaby.
So Anthony, you're basically saying that they're probably going to have like the development of the super awesome Alfred, because that's actually kind of something that I would totally watch. Is like bumbling Alfred doesn't know how to deal with this like crazy kid to like something.
That's kind of what I think. I mean, it seems like it'll be more of a development of his character arc as well, because at this point he's basically just trying to protect a kid from the world. Because you have all of Wayne Industries that has to be looked after. He's got this kid that he's got to deal with who's, running around burning himself with candles and shit and just being fucking crazy and asking for police files on his dead parents, which is just utterly crazy for a kid that age. But then at some point when Bruce is going to make that turn to where once he realizes what he wants to do with his life, I mean, I don't know how much of that we're going to get in the show. But I think at that point we're going to see the fact that, once Alfred realizes he doesn't have to worry about him anymore, he's going to become the Alfred that we're more used to. The Alfred that, takes care of him, backs all of his plays, fucking is there with a nice, first aid kit to stitch him up.
And will suddenly be British.
And possibly might become British. You never know.
That just made me laugh. Like, I was like, suddenly Alfred has morphed from Australian to British.
But still, I don't know. DC's killing it on the TV front because between Flash and Arrow, they're doing so well. I like Gotham, but I mean apparently I like a lot of shows that other people don't like as much. I guess I'm more forgiving on my TV and movies. I've gotten over the point of wanting them to be anything like the comics that I read, so at this point I just enjoy them and they're fun.
I actually like Arrow more than I like the Arrow comic. And maybe that's just the New 52 Arrow comic. Like, I liked when, what's his name, took over Green Arrow for a while there.
Jeff Lemire.
Yeah, he did a good job. Like, I like that in his first issue that he wrote, he basically just killed everyone and said, okay, start over.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought about that too because I think I possibly might. One of the reasons I might be such a big fan of the Arrow TV show is that I was never a fan of Green Arrow as a comic book character.
Right.
I didn't really like him in the Justice League. I mean, I don't like the big pirate beard mustache look. Like, I always thought Oliver Queen was kind of a weak Bruce Wayne knockoff who just happened to be more politically driven in the comics, just because Ollie Queen is really kind of in people's face with his beliefs. But I mean, it was never a bad character. I was never a fan. I fucking love Oliver Queen on the Arrow TV show, and maybe it's because I wasn't a fan of the comics that it made it so much easier for me to enjoy the show.
And I think that's what helps it, because I wasn't a huge Green Arrow fan. I read the crossovers when him and Green Lantern would team up because I was always a big Green Lantern fan. So I would read those team ups, but I never really got into his character. It was just kind of, okay. But Arrow, the show, they made him into not even a likable character, because he's still kind of an asshole, but just a character that you could understand why he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's not really supposed to be likable.
Yeah, like, I watched that show, and I don't even, like, it. Oliver isn't the one that I look out for. I look out for Felicity. I like Felicity a lot. I like Diggle a lot. I think those two characters are great. I really ship hard Felicity and Barry because in the pre-show, I had talked about how Barry Allen is, to me, the hot one. I don't understand the crush on Oliver when you've got Barry Allen right there, but I've got a thing for dorks, so.
Actually, I can use that so move that into my news of the week. They had the more casting rumors, and what do you think of Ezra Miller, who's going to be playing the other Flash?
Trying to think who that is.
He's
Um,
the he was the friend on what is it? The Perks of Being a Wallflower. So not the main kid Logan, but the tall, skinny one.
I never saw the movie. I just read the book.
He was in that, and then what is it? The Problem with Jeffrey or whatever, where he was Tilda Swinton's kind of crazy son.
Okay,
But
I got
he's
his face. I got his face.
yeah, real pretty boy.
I can't say that I've ever seen him act, so I can't. I mean, that's typical for CW. They got a thing for pretty boys, but like, I don't know. Like they haven't. From what everything that I'm hearing from you guys talking about the Flash and how great it is and blah blah blah, don't really think they could go wrong. I still haven't watched the Flash because, as I said, I'm not watching the Flash until I've seen season 2 of Arrow, because then I'll just watch Arrow and Flash at the same time.
It's so good. It's so good. You don't even have to watch Green Arrow or Arrow to watch Flash.
I mean, I like the fact that they're going to have multiple Flash. He's not being Wally West though, is he?
No,
Well,
Barry
see,
Allen.
yeah, supposedly it's Barry Allen, but I don't think they've actually made that determination. All they've said is that he's the Flash. Because I mean, there's a lot of rumors about the casting for the Justice League. Because like we also have there's also it's rumored wait, what's her name? Carrie Kelly, the female Robin, has possibly been cast to join in Batman Fight Superman.
Really?
Yeah. Damn it. Where's the actress's name? Jenna Malone.
Really, Jenna Malone?
Yeah, so there's the idea that she might play Robin, so we'd have the female Robin based on the Legend of the Dark Knight. So that would follow more or the Dark Knight Returns. So that would follow more with the Frank Miller storyline. So we get the giant tank, we get the older Batman, we get the red-haired female Robin. And then, we've got Ezra Miller cast rumors I think he's confirmed as the Flash.
See, I thought you were meaning he was going to be on the Flash TV show. I'm like, oh, they're going to do the multiple Flash storyline?
No, he's going to be on the Justice League film.
Okay.
So, they've been doing it's basically just a lot of casting and then a lot of rumors following up. And the other one I thought was weird was they've actually, apparently DC's in talks for doing a Suicide Squad movie. And then, as that one's moving forward, apparently rumors have started about Tom Hardy working on 2 different movies, because people are talking about DC wanting him to be Bane in the Suicide Squad film, because he's already Bane, so it just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's the Nolanverse mixing in with the new Justice League universe, which has a different Batman, so that would be kind of strange. And at the same time, apparently Marvel's talking to him and trying to get him to be fucking Apocalypse.
He would be a badass Apocalypse.
Yeah, because we all know Tom Hardy can do no wrong. It's just go watch his entire film franchise. Everything he's in, Tom Hardy kicks ass.
I think my favorite of his is Warrior, though.
It's Warrior is it's the MMA version of Rocky. It's a movie so good you wish it was a true story, because it's such a damn good movie. And if you don't think Bane was scary, go watch Warrior. Tom Hardy can be fucking scary. I'm not afraid of his Bane. I'll fight his Bane. I will not fight the character he fucking played in Warrior. That dude scares the shit out of me.
Dude, Warrior, okay. We're going to go on a Tom Hardy love fest right here. Okay, so I saw Warrior in the theaters with, no expectations, because I really didn't know what it was. I was trying to kill time in between school and a shift at work. Because I was going to school downtown and I was working downtown, but I didn't want to take the train all the way back to the suburbs. So I went to the movies and I watched Warrior, and I came out and I'm like, I want to go beat somebody up, right now. The movie is just, it gets you pumped up, and it's really good, and it's got a solid, a lot of fighting movies don't have real good solid storylines, but Warrior did. It's one of those, it ranks up there with Rocky and Ip Man for me. It's up there. Yeah. I really like that movie a lot. If you've never watched Ip Man either, that's another one.
Best MMA movie.
I don't think there's really any good MMA movies other than that one.
Well, there've been a couple that have been okay, but it's really the one that had the most solid script and the
Yeah.
best acting. There's been some okay, 3 out of 5 star MMA films with a bunch of UFC fighters in them that have turned in some, a couple have actually turned in some fairly good performances on camera. Which, if a UFC fighter can't play a UFC fighter in a movie, that's a bad director. But
Right.
Some of the scripts on those aren't exactly great. They're just there to kind of look good. But yeah, some of those have been okay. But yeah, Warrior destroys them all. It's such a fantastic film. And for those that don't know, it's also Nick Nolte was nominated for an Oscar for that film. Like, it is damn good. And he might be the world's greatest recovering alcoholic father in a movie ever.
Yeah. It's solid. It's a good, solid movie, and it's hard to find these days to find good movies. Other than the comic book movies that we obviously rant and rave about all the times, like Guardians and stuff like that.
Well,
But
and
I
that
mean-
was also one that came out of nowhere and had no fanfare. Like, they barely publicized that film when it came out.
Oh man, and you go in message boards today or whatever, and they talk about the comic book and how they're like, wow, this comic book isn't good at all. And the 2007 version of that comic was not great. Like, I'm reading it right now, it's on my tablet, and I'm like, I kind of like I'm excited to see what they bring into play, but at the same time I'm just kind of like, this is not great.
Wait, which comic are you talking about?
The 2000s version of Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's
Oh,
2007.
yeah, the older version of the team.
Yeah. The current run of Guardians is good. I like the current run, but the old version not so good.
Oh, yeah.
The old version wasn't the movie team, so
No.
very different stuff.
Well, the old version had, I can't think of anybody's names because I'm thinking too many things at the moment. It had the more expanded team, and the current version does too. I mean, you get more characters in the current version, but anyways, yes. Well, I think we trailed from our news of the week. We should give Keith his news of the week.
Yep. What's up, Keith?
HBO Go is going to be a subscription service without, having to have cable, which is really good for us Roku users.
Yes.
Yeah. And I also got my Loot Crate early this week, which means that I'm under embargo to not post any pictures or anything for the Loot Crate, which makes me really sad because
That's weird. Like, it
Yeah.
just showed up early, but you're not allowed to open it and post stuff?
Yeah, I'm the first time that I can say that I'm under embargo, and I'm not even like a journalist or anything. I'm actually really excited about saying it, but I was gonna wear my T-shirt that I got with it, which is amazing this month, but I can't because I'm under embargo.
That's so weird. I've never heard of that happening.
Yeah, they used the new delivery service, and some people got it faster than others. So
So how
tomorrow,
long are you not allowed to show it?
till tomorrow, which is interesting.
So it showed up yesterday, and you can't
Yep.
release it until Monday?
Yeah, it's like pointless right now, which is like, it's like, they can wait 2 more days, but they're like, we don't want you to spoil the surprises. This month's Loot Crate is Fear, by the way. So it had a lot of Walking
Nice.
Dead stuff and Halloween themed stuff. It was really cool.
I keep wanting to get myself a Loot Crate, but it's one more thing I can't afford yet. But yeah, every time I've seen people open those videos, man, they said that's some cool shit.
It's cool to have random shit just show up at your door.
Christmas every month.
Yeah. Like they get me good sometimes, but like last month's was Galactic, which I thought was really going to be good, but it wasn't. It was because everything was licensed, so I bet you they paid up the butt for everything. So,
Was
but
that
yeah.
the one that had the Groot in it?
No, that was the month before was the one with the Groot in it. That one was a good one. I forgot what they called that one. I think that was Heroes or something. Mine's $50 for three months. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about getting rid of it or not. But water fountains.
Damn it! Screw you guys! I'm back, bitches, you assholes.
That was perfect timing.
Yeah, it was pretty timing. And another little tidbit of news. The Flash's 75th anniversary is coming up next year in 2015. DC Comics is going to do their newest star, the Flash TV show, getting his own run of variant covers. And so they've started announcing them, and Newsarama put up a giant list of just all these different covers, what book it's going to be, and who's doing the cover. And I find it very strange because they didn't list the one that I already have seen because Ryan Otley did one. And it's awesome because he did it old school and signed his old signature on it, which used to be Rotley. And he did a drawing of basically a zombie Flash running. And so I know that cover is out there somewhere at DC. Maybe that one's already happening this year. But yeah, there's a list of like 20-some-odd comics that are going to be coming out next year that are going to have variant Flash covers. So like there's going to be a Flash cover on Aquaman. There's going to be a Flash cover on Batman. There's going to be a Flash cover on Harley Quinn. Like, there's just going to be a Flash cover for everybody, but instead of it being, I don't think it's all going to be, hopefully not the same month, but yeah, it's for the anniversary of the Flash as the Flash turns 75.
Old man.
Are they going to have it running through every cover? Is that the thing that's going to happen?
I don't know, because it says he's, like, in the article, it says he's going to be running through all the covers of the DC Universe, but I don't know if they're actually going to try to make it, like, one continuous image, which... If they did, that would be fucking amazing, but I'm not sure you could get 30 artists all together to agree on one image that the Flash is going to run through. But, you know, who knows? It might be possible.
That'd be really cool if they did.
It'll definitely be something to look at your local comic book store next year when all those covers start hitting. The DC wall might look really, really heavy and red.
I think if they did something like that, it'd be really cool if they, if they would do that and then made, like, a poster out of it so you could see the whole thing.
That would be nice. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I know I've seen a couple of them because Ryan Otley, I always follow him on Twitter, and he already got his comp issues back. So maybe the one I saw was actually a current Flash issue. I just know that one's got an awesome cover.
Okay, so what did I miss when I ran to pee? So had to pee so bad.
I talked about the HBO Go, but I only touched on it, and then I talked about Loot Crate.
And how you're not allowed to actually talk about Loot Crate?
Yeah.
The first rule of Fight Club is we don't talk about Fight Club.
That's right. Oh, I'm sorry. These were the Ryan Otley and FCO Placencia's Zombified the Flash is for October's monster-themed variant month. So yeah, it's out now. And yeah, it's a zombie Flash running at full speed eating a brain. It's a fucking beautiful cover.
Yummy. Brains are delicious.
Yes. But yeah, no, the HBO Go thing is cool because then they also followed up. ABC said they're doing it as well, which we little pre-show talked about the fact that nobody really wants to pay for the ABC as a separate channel. But I love these announcements because it's getting us closer and closer to a la carte cable. Because kids of this generation, me and my friends, a couple of us talked about it at work. Kids of this generation that have grown up watching stuff on TiVo and Netflix and Hulu, they don't want to watch commercials. They don't want to watch basically anything other than the specific show that they want to watch at that time. And they sure as hell are never going to pay for a bundle of 120 channels that only includes 9 channels they want to watch. And so at some point, I mean, this is just getting us one step closer to hopefully getting a la carte cable, where you can go to a cable company at your provider and say, okay, I want to pay for these 9 channels, and only pay for those 9 channels.
The thing with Hulu is that you still have to watch the commercials, though. I hate Hulu.
Well, yeah,
I'm out there and saying it. You gotta pay for a service that you still have to watch the commercials.
Well, see, and I've heard the argument back and forth on both sides of that because you pay for cable, and everything on cable has commercials. You pay for DirecTV, everything on DirecTV has commercials because they're still selling commercial airtime inside the programming. But I do like the fact that Hulu, at least now on the Hulu Plus side of it, they have certain parts of the Hulu Plus that don't have commercials. Because it did seem weird that they were a free service, and then the paid version had the same amount of commercials, because that seemed a little weird to me. And then they made it to where I guess all the movies, of course, and I believe all their children's programming, and then a couple other categories don't have commercials on the Hulu Plus side. So if you're actually paying for it, there is like part of Hulu now that is commercial free.
Well, I'm on Hulu Plus, and I basically have it because Sailor Moon, and that's the place where I can watch Sailor Moon, all the old episodes and the new episodes that are coming out. So it's like that's the only way that I could see it, and I don't like that, you pay for the service, which I understand that you pay for cable service and you have to watch commercials, but the thing is that like you get Netflix where you pay for it, you don't have to watch commercials, and I've got that to compare it to.
Yeah, and I mean Netflix is, basically they are taking over the world. Dressman actually has added in the chat room, HBO is trying to not get Blockbuster out of existence, which is
or pirated.
Basically what happened to Blockbuster is Netflix just destroyed them, which I didn't really feel bad about because Blockbuster destroyed every mom and pop video store in America and they didn't give a shit. So fuck Blockbuster. And then Draftsman also added, Netflix said we have to become HBO faster than HBO can become like us. And with the slate of original programming that Netflix has coming, they're winning right now.
Right. Well, the thing with HBO though too is that if you want to watch their shows and you don't have HBO Go or their cable service, in your cable service, you're going to be paying $60.
Yeah, you're paying for it either on iTunes or waiting until the DVDs, Blu-rays come out, and then they're costing you out the ass because, well, they're awesome and they're beautifully made, but they're pricey.
They're pricey, and so people are pirating it, and so they want to bank on the people who are pirating.
Yeah. Yeah, I do love seeing what Netflix is. It's changing the way, basically television, cable, all of it's going to be ran. Within 10 years, I don't think it'll be recognizable as what we grew up with.
Oh, God, no. Saturday morning programming is not a thing.
Well, yeah, we already lost Saturday morning cartoons. They're gone because kids get up and turn on Netflix, and they watch whatever cartoon they want to watch, and they watch 6 episodes in a row while they're eating their cereal because their parents are still asleep.
Yep, probably.
I am sitting here thinking you guys are talking about these kids that just get to watch whatever the heck they want and don't have to watch cartoons. I don't want to get too into this, but what type of kids are going to be growing up? What type of adults are they going to be? Just these impatient people that are I want to watch when I want to watch when I watch it and just be angry.
You're not already seeing that in the stories that Naki's telling of all these bastard children at her work.
That's true. That's true.
My buddy Marvin, he has a son Wilson who's 6. We had a hilarious conversation the other day because they were watching something live on television, and Wilson said, "Dad, fast forward. I don't want to watch commercials." And he's like, "We can't fast forward. We're watching it live. It's happening now." And his 6-year-old couldn't comprehend that. He's like, "What do you mean? You can't fast forward?" It broke his little mind that he had to sit there and watch the show as it was happening and couldn't fast forward through the commercials. So yeah, the next generation of kids, it's going to be real hard for any type of cable company to try to sell them a bundle of bullshit along with the stuff they actually want to buy. It's going to be a generation of kids that they're not willing to sit through commercials. I think when they talk about cable cutters right now for people that are getting rid of cable for Netflix, I think we're going to see a big drop off of people watching network television because that generation grows up, they're not going to watch live primetime TV. By the time they're adults, move out in their 20s and get apartments on their own, if it's not on TiVo and they can't fast forward the commercials, they're not going to watch it. It's going to be ridiculous. They're going to have to redo the entire model for how television sells ad revenue because they're not going to be able to make the type of money that they were used to making, on must-see TV on Thursday nights on NBC. Those days are fucking long gone.
Yeah. It's interesting to just think about.
Oh yeah, those kids are going to grow up to be shits. When they're 20s, they're going to be assholes. They're going to want everything they want exactly when they want it, and they're going to want it for free. Because they've grown up with free music, fucking, as far as they're concerned, free TV. They think everything should just be given to them. It's the entitlement generation. They're going to be the most entitled generation ever. These
future
kids
is
that had
terrifying.
an iPad when they were 4. Yeah. The future is terrifying. We're literally going through, what my parents' generation went through in the 70s, going, God damn, look at these kids. They got fucking 8 hours of cartoons on Saturday. Every fucking cartoon's got a toy line. These fucking kids have everything. We didn't have none of this shit growing up. And we're seeing just the next generation's version of that, where it's a total change in how, what children have and what media they're exposed to as they're being raised.
It's terrifying.
I guess I should say my generation, because I'm the only one on the show today that was born in the 70s.
Yeah.
Old man.
I'm surrounded by a bunch of entitled children. God damn it.
Yeah, well, I was born in the 80s, so, fuck you and your old manness, Disco Stew.
I was born in the 70s. I wasn't raised in the 70s. I'm a child of the 80s. I was born in 78, so yeah. Technically born in the 70s, but I grew up an 80s kid. I'm He-Man Thundercats all the way, goddammit.
Ooh, Thundercats. Oh.
Damn right.
So looking at the time, we've got about 8 minutes left. We should do what we're getting into.
Sounds good.
Or what we're into, or whatever. And I vote for somebody else to go first. Haha.
Go for it, Keith. What are you getting into?
I'm trying to rewatch Twin Peaks because of the announcement that last week that they were going to restart the Twin Peaks series again on Showtime, was it? I believe, yeah. And I've gotten through a couple episodes before, but this time I'm really committed to getting through it because of the weirdness of it.
And we talked about watching shows as background noise or while you're doing something else. That is a show you cannot be doing anything else.
No, you have to watch it.
You have to sit and actually just watch Twin Peaks because it's the only way it'll make fucking any sense.
Yeah. It's crazy. I can't really. I don't want to really plug another podcast, but I'm listening to a podcast that's like doing an episode at a time. So it's interesting. Well, yeah, it's the guys from Idle Thumbs are doing a Twin Peaks rewatch, and they're doing it so that it's not like spoiler bait. Well, you can listen to it up to a point, and then after that point, they start talking about spoilers, and they dissect the show pretty cool, and you get to, hear things about it that you wouldn't catch if you were watching the show just by yourself.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Apparently that's all Keith is Twin Peaks.
Dead air. Dead air.
I like that air. That's what I do.
So this week, Borderlands the pre-sequel came out. So
Oh
basically,
yeah, I'm doing that.
Shut up, Keith. You had your turn. Mr. Dead Air over there. I'm just kidding. Come back. Aww.
Okay.
So Borderlands the pre-sequel came out this week. Basically, any time that I have not been at school, at work, or doing homework, I've been playing. With the group that I'm playing with, I'm playing as Claptrap, which is a lot of fun because he's just such a random character that basically anytime I do my special, I have no idea what's coming. My favorite so far is the Blightbot, which is a little robot that comes out of my face that starts blasting techno music and killing everything around me. But there's also there's the Funzerking, which me and my allies just start blasting everything, and you can't stop firing. It just keeps going for a solid 2 minutes there, and then there's different you just get different abilities every time you hit your trigger button to go. And then on my own, on soloing, I'm doing Athena, which is proving hard to solo with, but she's an interesting character. It's kind of like playing as Captain America, but female. You get to throw your shield around and blast things that way. I really like the moon base because you get to zero gravity butt slam things and Um, the story of it so far is pretty solid. It's tying in a lot with Borderlands 2. There's some tie-ins to Borderlands 1, like Athena is from Borderlands 1. She's not in 2. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out, tying into both games. But so far they're doing a really solid job of keeping both games relevant. Because like with Gears of War, that's one of the few series that I played the entire series of, other than Judgment, because it was terrible. You would play the game and you would know what happened in the other two games, but it's never really referenced. They're keeping the references fresh with the pre-sequel, which is what I like about it a lot. They keep the whole story very much flowing. So yeah, that's what I'm getting into.
Nice. See, I have been not playing video games, barely reading my comics, just because, well, life's getting in the way. So I'm in the process of cleaning up this house, trying to sell it, and going to look for a couple other houses. So I've actually looked at one place I like. I'm going to go look at 3 more today. In between that, I am trying to keep up a little bit with Inktober. I started falling behind, but I got a couple of good ones going on. I did this one at work the other day.
Trick or treat!
You got a little Sam action from Trick or Treat. This one's not done yet, but actually this one's my favorite one so far. I got me some nice pit pens, and I found a picture of Chucky online and started working on this one at work on Friday, and I just haven't finished it. I just need to do this little colorful rainbow sleeves. But yeah,
the murderous asshole who, dude, tortured me in my childhood.
The best killer in the world. Yeah, a little pack of the Faber-Castell 4-pack pit pens. Got these delivered from Amazon. Little suckers are nice. I'd never played with them before. I've only ever used microns. And so these ones, it's a real nice pack, too, where it has just a small, fine, medium, and then a brush tip. So between the 4, like, it's a really good little set for what you can do with them. I'm really enjoying those. But, yeah, trying to keep up with Inktober. I'm falling a little behind. I think I'm like 4 or 5 days behind. But like you see, I'm getting some done. I may not get a whole 31 done, but I'll at least have a nice stack of inked drawings to put out. Putting all those up on my new Instagram account, because I follow so many people on other social media that I eventually just, okay, fuck it, I have to have one. And so I started my Instagram account, and that's where I'm putting all my ink drawings up. So one more social media outlet, because that's what we all need, is one more place to be social, because we're not social.
Because we're not social now.
Online.
Well, I basically, like, my Twitter account has become kind of nulled because certain people have been saying things that it has a lot to do with just, yeah, it got to be too much. So it's still there, it still exists. I just don't I'm just not as active on it anymore. I'll come on every now and then. My Facebook account is pretty private. Have it set to the people that I want to see it, and that's about it. Like, and then I have Instagram, and Instagram's public. I don't put I post a picture every couple days. They're silly pictures, but like this morning I posted a picture of my morning run. Just to keep I use my Instagram as a way to keep myself on track for my health and fitness stuff. I have a lot of health and fitness stuff that I follow, just to try and keep myself focused on that, because Fit by 30 is a thing.
Nice. Let's see, I don't use my Instagram account for that, but I am doing that as well. I've got my little chart here, the Men's Health 1,000 rep workout. Nice. This little fucker's kicking my ass. 3 times a week. That's a big part of why I've lost 13 pounds. Freaking, it's just a set of different exercises, and you try to get as many of them done as you can in half an hour. So far, I've never gotten more than, I think it's 600 reps. Like a 595 is my best score ever. And apparently, somehow, you're supposed to be able to do 1,000 inside of 30 minutes. So I got a ways to go, but it's definitely working on building up my lung capacity. Because I was doing like 400s when I started it, and now I'm getting closer to 6. So
you should email that to me. Just throwing that out there.
I'll send you the article. Yeah, it's a good one. So men's fitness one, or men's health fitness article that I found. And yeah, it's a killer fucking workout. You don't need weights or anything. It's all body weight moves. The only thing you need is a jump rope. Other than that, it's push-ups, lunges, squats. Like, it's all stuff that you can do with just your own body weight, and it's a fucking killer workout.
People underestimate the usage of body weight. Like, I like doing the racks, I really do. If I was to pick out anything, if I was going to do stuff at the gym, I'd be doing free weights and racks on the rack and stuff like that. I like doing squats and deadlifts. But, body weight is actually really, really good for you, too. So.
Oh, what I do is I choose, because I do it 3 days a week, so Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then I'll do that as my first half hour of my workout, and then I'll grab the weights and do chest and arms, or I'll grab my weights and do squats and lunges. But I do that first, and by the time that's done, I'm half exhausted and dripping with sweat in half an hour. So you can do that 30-minute workout, and then if you don't feel like you can do any more, you can be done for the day, and you'll still feel like you accomplished plenty. So it's a good one.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we should sign off at this point because we are at our hour mark. Tune in next week where Chris will be back, so Anthony and I will stop tagging back and forth as to who's doing what. Because Chris will be here to focus our crazy asses into one solid show.
He is a little better at that than us, just kind of going back and forth on who's doing what, isn't it?
Yeah, that's okay. That's why we keep Chris around. He keeps us focused. If you guys have followed the show from the beginning, you know that I'm known for my randomness and I suck at being the host. So that's why we make Chris do this.
Wait, you were the host?
He is really good at it.
We started out that it was Chris and I would go week by week as to who was the host, and then it just kind of like, Chris, I suck at this. You do the host.
Yeah, because I'm one of the only people that's listened back to all the episodes. I think there was really maybe 3 solid episodes where Naki was the host, and the rest of it was either Chris or Adahe pushing everything along.
Yeah, and they were the ones where I would just go off on random tangents, and that's basically just how I live my day-to-day life, anyways.
It's entertaining, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. I want to live life to its fullest, and that means going on random fucking tangents. All right.
Damn right.
So, so tune in next week where we have a host that will keep us focused. Thank you to Keith for coming in and filling in last minute for Chris. And his stupid X-Wing tournament, and go watch the Clone Freak 1 videos. They're quite funny. He's a weirdo.
You don't have to plug that.
But I did.
That's the whole point of her having her own show. She can plug whatever she wants.
Okay.
Yeah, I plug whatever I want. Yeah.
I'm sorry we didn't get to talk about the Flash. I really wanted to talk about the Flash, but we got
sidetracked again.
We'll have you back on as soon as Naki gets caught up on Arrow and the Flash, and we'll do an all Flash episode. And by then we'll have 5 or 6 episodes to talk about, which at the rate the show's going will be awesome because we'll have 5 or 6 villains to talk about. Because they've been introducing a villain every freaking episode of the Flash, and I'm stoked to see Wentworth Miller as fucking Captain Cold. Because I don't know if anybody watched Prison Break, but Wentworth Miller is an amazing actor. And
I watched season 1.
I can't wait to see him as Captain Cold. That's going to be a blast.
So, yeah, you can check us out on GonnaGeek.com. You can check out all of the other fun, awesome podcasts on Gonna Geek. They have a Flash podcast called The Crimson... What is it?
Courier, maybe?
No. The Crimson Wave? No.
No. The Crimson something or other. Go check it out.
Yeah,
you guys
that's
are
the
winning.
Flash one. Yeah, we're the best.
I might go check that out right now because I need to hear something about Flash.
They do have a lot of Flash talk on the show. I believe it is all Flash centric. So.
I believe they did stuff on the Starling Tribune also about Flash, and of course it's the Arrow-based podcast.
Yeah.
If you wanted to hear more. And then there's a ton of awesome podcasts. They're expanding every day. There's so many podcasts on there. I don't even know what's happening anymore. As you could tell, I have no idea what the Crimson.
It's the Crimson Comet.
Thank you.
Crimson Crumb.
The Crimson something. Which is the Flash-based episode, Flash-based series, and we air live every Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 9 a.m.
Mountain Time.
Mountain Time, 8 a.m. Pacific time. Yeah. Anyways, come check us out. Come talk with us in the chat room. If you don't feel like talking with us in the chat room, you can always leave us a message. We have a Google Voice number. I'm not looking that up at the moment. But
You guys have a Google Voice number?
we do have a Google Voice number.
Yeah, I'm the only person that's ever called in and left a message, I think.
I think Gamera Sith did at one time too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there was 2.
Yeah, we've had 2 voice messages. It's great. Maybe one
Who
day.
wants to be number 3?
I'll send
Look at
you
you
a
guys.
glove. I have a glove I can send you. But yeah, tune in. We'll see you soon. I'll see you next week. Anthony still has to be the one to end this, though. So there.
That is true. So should I just let Naki keep babbling? Just not
Yes.
push the button?
Babble, 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 babble.
Rabble
Sounds-
babble, people. Enjoy your weekend. Watch out for Thoneclore. He's out there.